Nope. No intro. What's up, fans? No intro. No funny corpse. No nothing. I said in the post game, in the live stream, and I said on Twitter that this post game is not going to be for the faint of hearts. And if you're coming here to watch and expect me to just tear down Tua, you're going to be disappointed. If you think I'm going to tear down just one aspect of this team and put all of the blame on just one aspect of this team, you're going to be disappointed. There's a lot that I need to talk about with this team. Before I even jump into the stats, you were facing a decimated Chargers defense, and you can only put 17 points up. And again, I'm not just putting that on Tua, and I'm going to get more in depth on that, but I'm not saying it wasn't Tua's fault. This is a game you had to win. Like the 49ers game, the offense struggled, the defense struggled, but then they made stops when they needed to. But this is they needed to win this game. Worst case, come out of the road stretch 1 and 2. They needed to win this game, and they choked horribly on the national stage. So let's jump into the stats, and I'll go more in depth on that. Tua Tagovailoa, 10 for 28, 145 yards, 1 touchdown. Not good enough. Raheem Mostert, 11 carries, 37 yards, 3.4 yards a carry. Not good enough. Jeff Wilson, 4 carries, 26 yards. He got injured. Tyreek Hill, 4 catches, 81 yards, 10 targets. Too many targets, 1 touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 2 catches for 31 yards, 4 targets. He disappeared. Cedric Wilson, 2 catches, 19 yards, 2 targets. Raheem Mostert, 1 catch for 7 yards. Fumbles, Jeff Wilson fumbled, but we got the ball back, and that was one of the touchdown rushes, which isn't on here. Defense, we had 4 sacks, 1 by Eric Rowe, 1 by Jerome Baker, 1 by Christian Wilkins, 1 by Jalen Phillips. You look at the Chargers. Justin Herbert, 39 for 51, 367 yards, 1 touchdown. Austin Eckler, 15 carries, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Joshua Kelly, 4 carries, 29 yards, no touchdowns. Rush defense was still there. Mike Williams owned Xavier Howard. 6 catches for 116 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 targets. That man owned Xavier Howard. Keenan Allen, 12 catches, 92 yards on 14 targets. Austin Eckler, 8 catches, 59 yards on 8 targets. Justin Herbert, 1 fumble, but he recovered it. And there was 2 sacks by their defense. Let's talk about this because I have a lot of notes. First off, I'm going to talk about good. I'm going to talk about good real quick because this is going to be a big video about bad because you were 8-3 Dolphins. Number 1 in the AFC East, 8-3. Number 2 in the AFC, 8-3. People calling you pretenders. Those 5-game winning streaks are against bad team, which I hate that narrative because look at what Detroit did. Look at what the Texans did against the Cowboys any given Sunday. You win the games you're supposed to. You're 8-3. No showing the past 2 weeks. The flags. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that the flags lost us the game, right? The roughing the passer call was the worst flag I've ever seen in my entire life. Hands down, just abysmal. Jalen Phillips should have 2 sacks today. The flags were horrible. But again, let me get to something really good. Players of the game. Christian Wilkins, Cater Kohu, Jalen Phillips, Tyreek Hill. Those 4 guys, fantastic. Especially Jalen Phillips showed up for his homecoming. Christian Wilkins was stopping people, but that's nothing new. Cater Kohu making tackles in the open field, nothing new. Tyreek Hill doing his thing, especially on one ankle so far. Back to the bad. The flags. in false starts, holdings, like in pivotal situations. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the reason we lost by 6 is because of the flags. It wasn't, because for a good quarter and a half, no bad flags were thrown. Even though, I tweeted this out, that 73 on the Chargers when they marched down the field, I think they kicked a field goal on that drive, had back-to-back false starts that weren't called. And it was blatantly obvious that 73 was jumping before this ball was even snapped. I will show you in the film breakdown. But the flags, absolutely horrendous. They stopped running the ball too much. They made it too obvious, right? There was instances where Tua was off. But there was instances where the entire offense was off. There was an obvious touchdown pass where Tua threw it where Tyreek Hill should have been. Tyreek Hill stopped and was looking for the ball. And it landed where he should have been. And it would have been a touchdown. An easy touchdown. Like, there was some type of misconnect between Tua and the wide receivers. Because the first quarter, going into the second quarter, there was a ton of drops. Sherfield with a drop, Jalen Waddle with a drop, Tyreek Hill with a drop, and it's like 3 and out, and it's just like, what is going on? Then you look at the defense. 3rd and 10, flag on holding, gives them the first down. 3rd and 8, first down to Williams, X. You guys know, right? A few years ago, X had the 10 interception season. Some people are like, oh, we should move on from him. He's at the peak of his, career. This is where you can get the most for him, yada, yada. And I'm like, you got to keep X. I love X, 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 X. I'm a big X fan. He has let me down this season. Absolutely let me down this season. He had a horrible game. And again, go back and watch my video. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Sam Madison came out and said that Xavier Howard is 100%. It's about his confidence. So I do not want to hear, and again, I'm an ex-stan. Like, I think Xavier Howard is one of the best corners we've ever had. I don't want to hear any excuses about his hammies or his groin. I don't want to hear it. I don't. Because that's not the reason he's playing this way. He got bullied. The defense, I'm going to talk to Big O about this. A lot of you guys are like, you better say this to Big O. The defensive schemes and the defensive... When we played when we played Justin Herbert the first time, we confused that kid so much, because it was his rookie year, that they had to run the ball for a whole drive because of the defense confused him. This defense did not confuse him. Their offense confused our defense. Justin Herbert had so much time in the pocket to let plays develop. He was hitting Mike Williams. He was hitting Keenan Allen. At one point, he was staring down Keenan Allen. That play where our corner was on him and he made a catch and everyone's like, oh my God, this amazing thing. He stared down Keenan Allen for a good 5 seconds. He was like, okay, now he's open. I'm going to throw. We were playing zone. We would send the zero blitz. 3rd and 4. Send the zero blitz. They would motion Keenan Allen from the right side to the left side. And while they're doing that, the guy that's supposed to cover Keenan Allen in this zero blitz man coverage is 10 yards off on 3rd and 4. 10 yards off on 3rd and 4. What is going to happen? Justin Herbert, like that, is going to throw the pass to Keenan Allen. He's going to instantly get the first down. No questions asked. They ran that same exact play. I'm not even trying to say the formation looked different or the cadence was different or the motion was different. It was the same exact play 3 times in this game. And on all 3 downs, he threw it to Keenan Allen in the flat. And on all 3 downs, it was a first down. Because the guy covering him was 5 or 6 yards off when it was a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2. Josh Boyer, I don't understand how you're not comprehending that you should change that up. Send a zero blitz. And I pointed this out in the live stream. You send the zero blitz, right? Just imagine I drew the defense here. You send the zero blitz here, but you have your corners 5 to 10 yards off. They're going to have 2 receivers running a route, and they're going to have the 3rd receiver running a shallow. And those 2 receivers in front are going to block first down or more. Like, Josh Boyer needs to be fired. Like, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I tried to say that, the corners are injured, and it's not about that. And I talked about it in the film breakdown. If you're going to send a zero blitz, prime example, the Kittle pass last week against the 49ers. Jalen Phillips got there, but you're not going to jam Kittle. He's going to get a free rush. He's going to get the ball out in 2 seconds. That's the other thing. Their defense, on the other hand, right? Our offense was anemic today. We had a touchdown off of a fumble that Tyreek Hill scooped up and took the other way. Other than that, we scored 10 points because their defense was physical. There was a play where, and I'll show it in the film breakdown, where Tyreek Hill was off the tight end, and as he went to go run his route, Kyle Van Noy literally threw him off his route. Their defense and their corners were physical. Now, at some points, they were physical to the point where it should have been a pass interference, but obviously we're not going to get these calls. But their defense was physical. That's why a lot of people were asking, hey, where's Jalen Waddle? He's physically getting taken out of the game. He's getting knocked off his routes. We were very happy to see Teron Armstead play. Tua's getting pressured left and right. And the run game, right? Nice 15-yard run. We abandoned it. Now it also drove me nuts from Mike McDaniel. Abandoned the run game. But then all of a sudden, okay, we're going to try to run again, 2-yard loss. We're going to try to run again, 2-yard loss. You're facing the worst rush defense in the NFL, and this offensive line cannot push them back? Third and goal. I'm going to talk about this. Getting back to Josh Boyer. I'm going to talk about this. Third and goal. And there was a penalty, so now they're on their own 15. Third and goal. They're on their own 15. What does Josh Boyer call? It's before the half. I think this is before the half. It was before the half. What does Josh Boyer call? He sends 3 rushers, and it's not even like he dropped the corners and the safeties. He dropped the entire defense to the goal line. So what did the Chargers do? They ran a screen. They could take most of their offensive line and go in front of the screen, and he has a convoy. So on 3rd and 15 from their own 15, from the Dolphins 15, they get it down to the 1. And then they run it in for a touchdown before the half. 17-7 at halftime. That's where the incompetence comes from with Josh Boyer. And that's where now, and it's not now, I said this a while ago, Brian Flores was the reason the defense was the way it was. Josh Boyer is the problem. He cannot make adjustments, and he cannot realize in certain critical situations when you should run certain plays. It's just the worst. Hands down the worst. Now, again, defense only gave up 23 points, right? They only gave up 6 points in the second half. But on third downs, they could not get off the field. And that's your own fault. If you're the defense and you're like, we can't get off the field, the time of possession their offense had is because you couldn't get off the field on third downs. Let's talk about the offense. Let's flip it over to the offense. 2 weeks in a row, this offense, I don't know what happened, Mike McDaniel. I don't know if all of a sudden they figured you out, because from what I'm hearing from guys that were at the game, they took the center of the field away. They took the middle of the field away, which was the bread and butter of this offense. You do play actions, you do motions, you throw the posts, you throw the crossing routes, you throw the slants, the center of the field. They took the middle of the field out, and they gave you the sidelines. And that took our whole offense and threw it out the window. And that's why I don't put 100% of the blame on Tua. As much as some want me to put 100% of the blame on Tua, no. The whole offense was off. Mike McDaniel couldn't make adjustments. But then, again, we get to certain situations where, okay, the offense is making the adjustments, and all right, we're down by 6. It's like a mirror image of the 49ers game. We're down by 6. We need to stop here. Defense can't get a stop. We're down by 6. We got the ball on offense. We stall. We have to punt the ball. Like it was a mirror image of the 49ers game where we're literally within range to take the lead by one, and either the offense or the defense lets the team down. Let alone one play we punt them the ball and then they instantly take it back to the Dolphins 45. This team is not playoff ready. The team that showed up today and the team that showed up last week against the 49ers are not playoff ready. Like, I'm afraid to see what's going to happen Saturday against Buffalo. Like, they're going to destroy this defense. This defense is just not good, and especially on the road. At home, this defense is a completely different defense. Like, we're on the road, then we're home for the Packers, then we're on the road to the Patriots, or home for the Jets. We'll probably go 2-2. I think we'll end the season at 10-7. I still think we're going to make the playoffs. I think we'll get the wild card, but at 10-7. But then we got to go on the road to face a team in the playoffs. This defense cannot play on the road. It's just, I'm trying to look at my notes to see if I missed anything. Oh, Bradley Chubb. Have you seen Bradley Chubb? Like, I thought bringing him in was going to be a huge help. Christian Wilkins, Jalen Phillips, they were your big guys today. Where's Bradley Chubb? Like, he like disappeared. Gives up big play, held to a field goal, sack by Jones, linebacker. It's like, oh, one of you guys and my father, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. One of you guys and my father noticed this. The offense got real predictable at some point because when Tyreek Hill wasn't on the field, we ran the ball. And then when Tyreek Hill came running on the field for a play, we passed the ball. It got real predictable, and I think that's why they were able to shut down our run game with having a bad rush defense because of that. Because they knew, Tyreek Hill's on the field, they're going to pass, drop back into coverage. Tyreek Hill's going off the field, they're going to run, everyone get into the box. Honestly, I think that's what happened. We'll watch the film breakdown together, like I said, and see if that's the case. But I'm like real, like you can tell. Normally my post games I crack a joke. I say something in the beginning. But this game was bad. I normally don't let myself be like, wow, we're going to win this. We should have won this game. We should have won this game. And the fact that we didn't, and the fact that it got flexed, and it was on Sunday Night Football, like we were playing so well that they flexed two of our games. This game and the Bills game, because we were playing so well. And then we put this out there. It just bothers the crap out of me. And I normally don't make videos like this. I'm normally not like, and tearing down the team. And but it needs to be, there's nothing, I picked some positives out. But other than that, like the team sucked today. And again, it wasn't just Tua Tagovailoa. It wasn't just the run game. It wasn't just Mike McDaniel. It wasn't just Josh Boyer. It wasn't just the secondary. The team sucked today. You scored 10 points. 7 was on a fluke play. You couldn't get off the field on third downs. Like, you left guys wide open. Like, are you kidding me? Mike Williams, 6 for 6, 116 yards. Keenan Allen, 12 out of 14 for 92 yards. Our linebackers are garbage. Put Channing Tindall in at this point. What is it going to hurt to take Landon Roberts out and putting Channing Tindall in? Or taking Jerome Baker out or Duke Riley and putting Channing Tindall in? What is that going to hurt at this point? Because Landon Roberts can't cover the middle of the field. And that's where a lot of Austin Eckler's, Austin Eckler and Gerald Everett's, yards came from. It's the middle of the field. I don't know. This is probably like one of my longest post-game videos, but you got 4 games left. Nothing changed. The only thing that changed is instead of being a game behind the Bills, we're now 2 games behind the Bills. Nothing changed. We're still number 6 in the AFC playoff picture. We haven't moved up or down. We're still second place in the AFC East. We haven't moved up or down. Nothing's changed. They need to figure out what happened the past 2 weeks that all of a sudden now they suck. And they need to fix it. Because if you don't fix it, and if Josh Boyer doesn't get his head out of his butt, they might not make the playoffs. And again, somebody asked me, what are the chances if we only win one game to make the playoffs? And it's still a decent chance. I'll talk about that after the Bills game. After the Bills game, we'll look at playoff scenarios and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But they gotta fix this. They gotta fix this. Again, sorry if you came here expecting me to, make everything feel better and it's going to be all right. We're going to bounce back. Maybe tomorrow in the deeper dive, I'll do it. But I guess it was disappointing, to say the least. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. Fins up.